Hello and welcome to The Dirt and the Divine. I'm Krisha Young, your podcast host and an advocate for living a fully aligned and unapologetic life. This podcast is rooted in the belief that every beautiful life grows from both the messy and the magnificent. Here we share real, raw stories of people who faced life's hardest moments, took radical personal responsibility, and chose joy and alignment over avoidance. My hope is that you hear these conversations and think, well, if they made it through and found happiness, then so can I. This space is about honoring both the dirt and the divine because together they shape a life worth living. Please note that this podcast is for general discussion only and is not a substitute for therapy, legal, or professional advice. Now let's dive in. So today I'm super excited to interview Koji Aiken. He's a Japanese Canadian drum and bass artist shaping the future of bass music in North America. Known for his emotionally charged sets and high energy productions, he blends the gift of neuro and jump up with the soul of liquid and melodic bass. I just love bass. Yeah. His tracks, including remixes like Ocean Eyes and originals like Fake, balance cinematic emotion with heavy bass lines. Koji has released on respected labels like High Tea Records, Pure Filth, and Third Brain, performed at major festivals like Electric Love and Altitude, and played sold out headline shows across Canada and the US, which I've been to 2 so far. And he's supported names like Pendulum, Shock One, and Culture Shock. Beyond the stage, Koji leads Kumo, a grassroots rave collective bringing bass culture to the Canadian West Coast. Thank you. Yeah. through Kumo, he's mentored rising artists and built a thriving, empowered community rooted in Japanese philosophy, DIY ethos, and deep love for rave culture. Koji isn't just an artist, he's a movement in motion. That's so beautiful. I love all that.
Oh, that's crazy to hear. Everything conglomerated into one little intro there. It's just like, wow, I've actually done quite a bit more than I thought I'd give myself credit for. So yeah, thank you for the amazing intro.
You're welcome. And, I mean, like, why don't we start there? Because,
sure,
yeah. Because like for most entrepreneurs, like that's a thing, like myself included, like we don't feel like we've accomplished anything yet. When we hear our bios or take a second to just kind of sit down for a minute, we're like, oh, actually, we've accomplished a lot.
A lot more than we think, a lot more than we give ourselves credit for. That's for sure.
Yeah. And as a performer, I would also consider you an entrepreneur because you are responsible for, I mean, you have an agent, but you're still responsible for your own business here. Like you're not working a 9 to 5. You're doing all the things to create your brand, which is no different than any other entrepreneur, to find opportunities, to put yourself out there. I mean, you started in these smaller sort of like venues or whatever, and now like the rooms are huge and they're only getting bigger. So tell me more about like how you got started in all this. What's your story?
I could go like way far back because this starts as early as when I was like 10, 11 when I was performing with my dad, and that's kind of how I fell in love with performance. Or we could fast track forward to when I was in college and I actually started learning how to DJ. So I guess yeah, where do you want to start?
All of it. Like that's cute. Like 10, 11. I've got an 11-year-old son. I'd love to hear a little bit about that.
Sure, yeah. So growing up, my father, David Aiken, he was an entertainer his entire life, as a comedy juggler. So he was a street performer, performing at all these venues on cruise ships. But my favorite shows were always when he was on the street and he would have to build a crowd. It's not like a stage, or it's not anything like you don't have a set stage with equipment or anything. So there's a real art form to learning how to build the crowd and like read people. And yeah, just being able to grow up around that, I just fell in love with entertainment and performance. And so around 10 or 11 years old is when I started picking up juggling and started performing with my dad and started doing my own little thing here and there. And I absolutely love the entertainment aspect of it and just being in front of people and performing. And yeah, but I kind of felt that juggling wasn't really my lane per se. I enjoyed it and stuff, but it like didn't really like click with me. It kind of felt a little forced. So um, but I still carried that love of entertaining. So when I went to high school, I actually joined the school's dance program, and I was performing on stages, doing choreography and dancing and organizing performances with different groups of kids, all from grade 8 to grade 12. And I really, found my spotlight on the stage there. And yeah, I fell in love with, I think that was kind of like where music all started for me, was being able to like get in touch with the sounds and like really translate it into movement. And when I graduated from high school, I didn't really have that group or that community of that dance program anymore. So I kind of had to find something new. And when I went to UBC, my friend brought me up. He loved the energy that I have, and we got along like right away. And he was kind of like the DJ of our faculty. So his name is Demo, and Demo really kind of took me under his wing to bring me up, similar to what my dad did, and just like showed me the ropes, taught me everything that I needed to know. And he was also working with an event group called the Calendar, which was like the campus like party group or whatever. And I started working with them throughout my high school career, and that's really where I discovered DJing and learning how to throw events. And the biggest thing for me was just like I loved setting everything up to get to that performance, and getting to that point where all the months of planning and all the weeks of conversations and meetings and marketing and everything, it all comes together for one night. And just it's really about like creating moments and experiences for everyone. And I think that's like really what I fell in love with. And so yeah, after university, I obviously lost, I didn't lose per se the community aspect, but I graduated right when COVID hit. So everything shut down. I didn't have any more gigs. I didn't have access to throw events or anything. So I really was left with, this kind of bare blank sheet, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, or who I was going to be. So I really just committed myself to producing music. And yeah, that was kind of how, when I really started taking the music side of things seriously. And but I was still, and right before COVID too, I was when I started Kumo, the events company and stuff. With And the whole idea around it was I loved entertaining, but it just kind of felt like there wasn't enough opportunities to keep me happy. So I wanted to create an event company or a production company that would allow me to be able to create performances and create chances for myself to perform and do things in a way that I wanted to do. Because one of the biggest struggles was having to follow the guidelines of what other people wanted to do. And a lot of the times I was playing a lot of the same music, and I kind of like, it got stale for me, I guess, because it was just the same people, same songs, same routines. And I was like, I feel like I could push myself a little bit. So that's when I started pushing towards the electronic music scene. And during COVID, actually, I think within the first like 6 to 9 months, I got invited to start working out of a multimedia studio called Studio 710, and they put me in charge with hosting DJ live streams. And so every Friday for about 10 months, I think it was, we were hosting DJs from all over Vancouver, giving them opportunities to be able to showcase their skills and just giving them a stage again. Because I think that's something that all of us really missed as artists, was being able to perform in front of people. And because that wasn't really a realistic thing that we could have done back in the day, when everything was locked down, this is kind of the best way to be able to express ourselves. And I met a lot of amazing, super talented musicians, DJs, artists through that. And as soon as the floodgates kind of opened in 2022, we started going right back into events. And because we had built all this momentum and had made a name for ourselves in the community, there was just a phenomenal response from everyone. Like as soon as we announced the parties, like they would sell out like that. And it's really a testament of all the work that we had put in over the COVID and over the lockdowns to like get to that point. And yeah, it really just provided a platform, not just for myself, but like a lot of my peers in the community and stuff. And it was just this crazy movement that we started like pushing the scene forward. It really felt like, and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. And that was a lot of fun. And then I went to Shambhala in 2023, and it was 2022. 2022 was my first Shambhala, and that's where I discovered my love for drum and bass. And after that, everything started lining up. Like I started learning how to produce drum and bass, fell in love with that. I love DJing it just because of the energy and everything about that. And the community is just such a beautiful community. Everyone's so kind and everyone's so passionate. And that's really, really the thing that really drives me forward, is just being able to share a room of people who are just as passionate about the music as I am. And yeah, ever since then, it's just been kind of uphill. Like everything's been going bigger and better. And yeah, we're getting some crazy opportunities. So yeah, like it's been an insane, I guess I've been like entertaining for almost over 15 years now, just in different forms. But it's really cool to see how it's all materialized and to see how far we've come, and to the point that we're at right now. It's sometimes I wake up and I'm like, is this a dream? Because it doesn't feel real sometimes. You know what I mean?
Well, you are in the clouds.
Yeah, here we are. Woohoo! We're getting there. Yeah.
I love this story. And I was writing notes. If you saw me looking over, I was
Yeah.
just writing notes here,
Yeah, no worries.
so that we can tie all of this back. First of all, thank you for sharing all of that. And I'm gonna just go back again and say you are an entrepreneur, like straight up. You're an
Thank you.
entrepreneur at heart, because there's a few things that you've done here. First of all, you and what I love, and what my community loves is, and what I'm such an advocate for, like in my own coaching business with my clients,
Yeah.
is what do you love? What do you love to do, right?
Yeah.
And then if you combine your love for something, right, with a natural skill and talent, then you kind of become unstoppable. But you need the other extra ingredient, which is kind of like the hustle in a way, but doing it in a way that doesn't like grind you out, stress you out, and make you feel like crap, right?
Totally. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, what I heard you say, there's a few things I want to go here, but is that, like, you did what a lot of very successful people who are successful today post COVID did. You leveraged the time,
Yeah.
right? You leveraged it instead of sitting and cashing the checks and just like complaining about it all. I mean, there might have been some days like that, I don't know. I mean,
Totally. Yeah.
it's a tough time for everybody, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. But what I noticed, that the people who thrived the most in that were the people who were like, okay, well, I can't do that anymore, so I'm going to do this.
You just gotta find something to fill the time, right? And it's like I'm an uber productive person. Like I get anxious when I'm not doing something that's like moving towards a goal or something. Like the only time I feel okay with doing nothing is when it's like designated relax,
Nothing time.
recover, nothing time. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I really, really try to be on my toes running around all the time, because that's just like I think it's just I'm a bit of a workaholic in that sense, and I just love progress. So
Mhm.
any way, shape, or form that I can move my life forward or my project forward makes me feel fulfilled. So
Yeah, right. And so you have a connection to your heart and your soul on that, right? And then it
absolutely.
just so happens that it's tied into this particular genre. I mean, I could be talking to you about anything right now. You could be
Yeah.
a surgeon, whatever, whatever. But you're a drum and bass DJ, which I just love. And so selfishly,
Yeah.
you're a container talking about that.
Yeah, yeah.
um, but I love the artistry of it, and I love the creativity of it. That's why I was, well, there's many reasons why I was excited to talk to you. But you created something, you took something and you were like, okay, well, we can't do this, so let's do that.
Hmm.
And it reminded me of when Bob Sinclair came on my radar.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this or whatever, but he did live streams every single day, and he
Yeah.
played like an hour long set. And I was like, oh, yay, this is amazing. And so it was really nice being part of that and feeling like you were part of a community. And
Yeah.
so that's what you guys did. But unbeknownst to you, maybe at the time, was what was also happening is that you were building buzz and you were building that momentum, so that,
Totally.
like you said, when the doors opened again in 2022, you guys just like
It
exploded.
was just nuclear. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people who pursue their passions don't see, is like a lot of people are watching, but you just don't see any signs of them, right? They're watching from a distance or from the sidelines, and they're not very vocal, but they're watching and they're supporting and they're cheering you on silently. You know what I mean? So
Right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so that's actually a big lesson, because for myself as an entrepreneur, and I've been online and I've tried promoting my things and talking about what it is that I do, or even this podcast or something like that,
yeah,
sometimes it's a little quiet, it's crickets. And in the past, I would just be like, okay, I guess nobody likes it, and kind of have that sort of defeatistness to it, because
totally.
it's
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, this is so much work, right? and then
absolutely.
and then but like this, like 10 years ago or whatever, and then now looking back at my stuff, I'm like, actually, like, people were commenting, and actually there was momentum, and actually, and if I had just stuck with it. So I think that's a big lesson here, is just like, even when it seems quiet, nobody's really listening, like, if you love it, just keep going, because eventually something will come out
Something
of
will
it,
click. Something will
know
click. And I think that's something like a lot of people get confused about, is like why, and this goes back to the whole thing of doing something that you love, is during those times when you don't have that external validation, it's like you need to find your why, or like what pushes you forward, right? Like I would have done the live streams regardless of whether I had the end result of being able to throw shows or not, because I just loved being a part of the community. I love being around the music, and I just love being able to support other artists, right? And the work that I put in luckily paid out like tenfold, and really contributed to the success of everything that we were working on after. So but it was like a grindy like year and a half of just like, oh yeah, like, oh, we got a couple streamers, or we got a couple of people watching the streams, like, like, oh, we're doing whatever, like, it's really hard to be able to push through that. So
Yeah,
it is important to find that thing that you love doing it for the sake of just doing it because you
doing
love
it.
it.
Yeah. And that is what I hear, like, when it comes to business entrepreneurs, um the why is definitely there, and there's an aspect or an element to it, but I find with artist entrepreneurs, it's it's make the art that you love, right?
Mhm.
And so in this case it's music, right? So make the music that you love, because if you love it, then it's just it's either going to land with people or it's not, but at least you're having fun. And to our point here, if it is a
Yeah.
little crickety, at least you're doing something that you love.
Yeah, and I think the thing is like, at least I've only really been releasing music since the end of 2023, so about a year and a half now. And the biggest thing that I've kind of noticed is like, it's not even about the song itself, right? Like, it's about who's making the song, and that's what your audience will connect to, right? It's not like, sure, you might make a song or whatever, but like there have been a lot of people in who have started like showing up in my corner, and they'll like whatever I put out, because not because the song is great or the song is hits a certain chord or whatever, but because they like who I am and they want to support me, and like immediately they have that emotional attachment to the song because of the connection that they have with me. And I think it's really important as an artist to be able to foster that connection with your fans.
Okay, so I agree with you. And so let's talk about this a little bit more, because
Mhm.
the one thing, like, you got that interesting start in life because your dad, was this entertainer.
Yeah.
He was doing entertainment. And seeing, after, like, I was behind you on
Yeah.
that last show. The first
Yeah.
time I saw you was HeadX.
TEDx. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
another great show.
that was so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I was like in the crowd, by in that same room, but
Yeah.
by the elevated stage. And so I
Yeah.
was watching you from there. But the second time I was behind you
Yeah.
on the stage, and so I got a different, like, perspective
Perspective.
of
Yeah.
the whole thing, right? And I hadn't realized how much of a crowd person you were, because the other DJs that were before you, they didn't really engage with the crowd. They were playing good stuff, but there was no sort of engagement. And you come up and you're like, wow, la 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 la, and start talking,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
Vancouver, and I was like, yeah, thank you for, like, acknowledging us, like, it
Yeah.
felt like you were bringing us together in the room, and you were so excited about, being there and revving the crowd. And, I think that's a huge component to where I see DJs become quite successful, is that they have that engagement with the audience. They have
Definitely.
that. And even celebrities. I mean, like, if we look at, like, Taylor Swift, or we look at Lady Gaga, or any one of these, Beyonce, whatever, they all have an attachment, like you said, that emotional investment with their fans.
Yeah.
So no matter
Definitely.
what it is that they put out there, it doesn't matter. Their fans are just like, I love you. I don't care. You could put out the worst track ever.
Yeah, but people are
But
bound to like it because they like who you are and what you put out, right?
right. And so you're a good person, and you're a kind person.
That's
And
what it is.
you can feel that. And I think that's why I was, like, super drawn to you too, because I was like, okay, wait, this is a good guy. And I feel
Thank you.
that. And I want to talk to you more. Um,
Yeah.
and give you an opportunity to share your story out there with other people. But that entertainment thread is there, right? So, like, watching your dad, but you didn't necessarily have to be like that. I mean, like, you could have been like, ew, I don't like that. I'm so embarrassed for my dad. I don't, but instead
Yeah.
you were like, that's cool. Like, I want to be like that.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to pass up on that when all my friends were telling me that my dad was the coolest out of everyone's friends. So I had a lot of positive reinforcement. And I mean, he was very similar, like like what you felt with me about me being a good person is like who my dad is, and just being able to be around that and be raised by that and constantly just have that energy around really shaped who I was today. And it's just like he's just so incredibly positive, and I really want to be able to spread that to other people, you know. Like I know a lot of people struggle with a lot of different things in their lives, and really I just want to be a bit of a light in people's lives, you know what I mean? Like any interaction that I have with anyone, I want them to leave feeling a little bit better about themselves. So
I love that.
yeah.
That's really, really beautiful. Thank you for doing that, you know?
Thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's a part of who I am. I've been doing it for all my life now,
Yeah.
so it feels like second nature. But yeah, it's kind of it's easy to gloss over when it is who you are, but then you realize that not everyone is like that, right?
No. No. Um, so one of the things that I enjoyed about watching you just this last time was also the fact that you brought your girl up on stage, you know, and at one
Yeah,
point I wasn't sure if she was your girlfriend or another DJ or something. Like it took me a couple seconds and I'm like, oh, I think that's his girl.
yeah, that's
And
my girl. Yeah,
yeah, Becca, right?
Becca. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I loved about that? I mean, like 50 shades of cute, right? But um there's just something so amazing about having a partner that supports you in your work, right?
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, and she was just super sweet and like, you know, just as exuberant and just as like, hey, you know, about that and then, you know, then she went off on her merry way. So I'm curious how you guys navigate like your relationship and anything like that, you know, and does she actually enjoy being on stage? Like did she seem
oh
like
yeah.
she did?
Yeah, she loves being on stage, and she
Nice.
comes out specifically for the songs that we've made together. And it's really unique to be
Ah,
able to have a partner that is willing to sit down and like for 3 hours and just let you nerd and geek out and just try and explain everything that's going on to her, while she's just like, oh yeah, I like this sound, or yeah, this sounds really good, or we should add this, or and so it's crazy because it forces me to change my approach with the creative process, and having to navigate her creative input as well helps challenge my thinking and helps me grow. And so I think it's an amazingly supportive relationship. And she's like, you know, before we even started dating, she was like a hardcore raver and everything, and it's like I knew that I wanted to be with her because she would get it. You know, not a lot of people understand drum and bass or electronic music or the
yeah.
culture around it, right? I feel like there's a bit of a taboo, or like a little bit
Mhm.
of a stigma around raving and rave culture. And so yeah, immediately it was just as soon as we kind of got together, I was like, oh yeah, no, this is gonna work. Like we can make something work here. And so yeah, it's like it's not even ever like planned really. Like I never ask her or planned for her to come up. I think she just gets like so excited to be a part of the journey, and this is kind of her way and my way of like sharing these moments and like creating memories together. Because you know, it's a beautiful thing, and that most couples don't really get. You don't really get a chance to stand in front of like 1,000 people and play your song together, you know what I mean? Like, and so it does create a really powerful connection. I think it helps cement our relationship a little bit more because we have these super unique experiences, and you know, we can tell people about it. And plus it's like I just love showing her out because she's such a cute little girl, and like I want everyone to know that yeah, she's the one that I chose. So
Yeah.
um yeah, no, it's the whole process is amazing. And I think her willingness and openness to be able to understand my passion has opened up our ability to connect in a very beautiful way, and has created many memorable moments that I'm gonna tell and show off to all my friends and everyone that I, you know, it's just another layer in the artist journey, right? Like I think a lot of artists are very like, this is me and this is my thing, and like I'm gonna stick to this, and
Mhm.
you know, it's all about me. And you know, for me it's not really about, I mean, to an extent, yeah, it's like I'm putting in the work, but it's like I like sharing the spotlight with people, and I like lifting other people up. So this is just a
Mhm.
great one avenue for me to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I love all that. Thank you for sharing all of that. It's palpable what you're saying, you know.
Yeah.
And just to tie a little bow on that, like what I heard in terms of like a healthy relationship there is, because like you can support your partner's like dreams and goals and stuff like that, but not have to be on stage with them, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a multitude of ways of supporting your partner's dreams and aspirations and goals and stuff like that. And I'm
Yeah.
always such an advocate for whoever I'm with, whatever they're doing. I'm just like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And like, I love supporting and love promoting. I mean, I'm just naturally good at sales anyway. So I'm always
Yeah.
promoting like all my friends' stuff and,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Always
um,
gotta push it. I mean, you got a podcast and you're sharing people's stories. That's
exactly.
marketing 101.
Exactly. Yeah, this is nothing about me. This is about the people who I'm interviewing, and that's my give. Like I want to be able to do that. And so I love that you've created that in your relationship, and that you understand that as part of a beautiful like give and take when it comes to like having a healthy relationship. I think that's wonderful.
And I think that really goes for most things in life too. It's like one of the things that I think is the core reason why I love entertainment is because it is a give and take with the performer and the audience. It's like you give them something, you give them, like in my case, it's like you give them a big bass drop, they go absolutely bananas, and like that fuels you. You're like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like I gotta hit them with something crazier next time. And it's just like this beautiful exchange
Yeah.
that goes on. And it's like that goes for everything, whether it's your relationship or the people that you work with, or even your work, right? It's like the more you put into your work, or the more you give yourself into your work, the more it'll come back to you in ways that you can't even imagine.
100%. What's that expression where energy flows? Something I can't think of it off the top of my head. There's an expression
Yeah.
where you put your energy is like what comes back, right? So it's like where you're putting your focus, like is where things come back. So and hence the like don't go too much into scarcity and lack, because you're just going to keep like magnetizing scarcity and lack.
Yeah.
And if you're like abundant minded or open minded or growth minded, then you're gonna just
All those opportunities will start opening, and it's crazy because
yeah.
the mind is a very powerful lens that we view life in. And so it's really important to be able to foster a healthy mindset about everything that you're doing, because yeah, as soon as you start giving into the negativity and that lack that you were speaking about earlier, like that's when things start collapsing in and imploding in and out of itself, right? So I think
Yeah.
first and foremost, if you're going to be an entrepreneur of any sort, then it's really important to have a strong, healthy mind before really going into it, and recognizing when you need to take a step back so that you can recalibrate too. Because there's, I mean, I've never been able. I'm the kind of person that goes 110% for like a week, and then I need like a weekend to like recharge and rest. And it took me a long time for me to figure out that flow. But now that I feel like I have, it's like my life feels a lot more balanced. Like I'm not burnt out as much. Like I'm able to produce more, and really just do more of the things that I love, which is at the end of the day what life is all about, right?
Yeah, totally. And again, knowing that about yourself now is like so great. It's gonna like serve you for years to come. And it'll change, like you'll change and your priorities will change. And what
Totally.
I mean? But like that this it's you what you're setting up for yourself here is a value system, right? Like a value.
Yeah.
I value my time, I value my rest, I value my I value working, and I value putting my stuff out there, but I also value having some rest periods. And so that might shift and change and morph what that looks like,
Yeah.
as we get older, right? um but the value system is there and it's set, and that won't change.
No, that won't change. And I think it's like really important too. Like one of the biggest things that I've learned was, um, you have like life and your knowledge and your experiences all build on itself. And so, I kind of I love thinking about life as a video game and just like kind of gamifying a little bit. But it's like you can't level up to the next level until you've beaten the boss, or you figured out the challenges of what
Yeah.
you are at this level, right? And growth is exponential in the sense that like once you beat level 1, 2, 3, you go up to level whatever, like 20 or something. It's like the experience and the things that you gain at level 20 are like 1,000-fold more important and valuable than what you gain at level 1, because level 1 is just all the basics and stuff, right? So but a lot of people don't understand, like people want to get to the destination before, but they don't really understand that the journey and the building blocks of getting to that point are a part of the whole experience.
They really are. And there's a lot of wisdom in that because you know, sometimes when something's not working, say for example, when you are building something,
Yeah.
something like let's say you have a track, right?
Yeah.
And you start laying your things that you lay,
All the
the
sounds and
drum,
stuff. Yeah.
and then the bass, and
Yeah.
then the frog, and then the
Yeah.
horn, and whatever.
All the good bits. Yeah. All the
All of
best
it,
bits.
right?
Yeah.
But there's basics in that. Like there's basics in that, right? And then you get more complicated and more complex and more layered and
Oh,
add vocals and blah blah blah. But then like if at the end you're like, okay, this sucks, you know, but you've been like going for the stars and that level 20 or whatever, and
yeah.
it's just not quite working, then you can strip the whole thing and start from that baseline again and just but
Yeah.
it's so much faster because it's like you've already done steps
You
one
already know what you're doing, right?
15, yeah.
You skipped the point of figuring out what you have, or you've gotten through the point of figuring out what you have to do, and so the second time around it's like you bring
Yeah.
all this new knowledge and this experience to the table, which will help guide your creative direction. But I mean, the problem with music is that it's just an ever evolving skill. Like
Mm.
you'll never reach the end level per se. You're just going to keep getting better and better and finding new ways to be creative. So I think that's something that I love about being a musician, is that there's no end to it. So there's a constant journey of growth, and there's no cap to how good you can get. Not that there's really a sense of good or bad music, but it's just like you're always going to be getting better, and you're always going to be making better music. So yeah, it's a super exciting part of the whole journey, is that it never
I
ends.
love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's so true. And you know, okay, so like I want to switch gears a little bit
Yeah.
and start talking about, you mentioned something before about the rave scene
Yeah.
and how it has a stigma.
Yeah.
I'd like to unpack that a little bit
For sure.
and then talk a little bit about like drum and bass specifically, and then
Hmm.
play a little bit of your song
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
that you shared. But um so my foray into like the quote unquote rave scene is relatively new. Like I've always loved EDM. I've always
Yeah.
loved dance music. I've always had like music playing. I've always loved dancing, all of that. But it wasn't until I moved to Vancouver, coming from Toronto, like
Yeah.
I was constantly looking for this sort for a scene. I didn't know what I was looking for when I was there, but I'm like, oh, doesn't anybody dance? Like I ask all the time. I'm like, where do people go dancing? And
Yeah.
I don't want to go to some over 40s thing. And then like the clubs, the usual clubs, everybody
Yeah.
was like really drunk and only playing Drake. And I'm like, this sucks, right? And so
Yeah.
that was kind of like the scene. And I'm like, I'm not into any of this. Like, no. But I was craving something and I didn't know what it was that I was craving. Anyway, life,
Yeah.
COVID, the weird things, and then life took me and brought me to this beautiful city.
Yeah.
And then that brought me to meeting some cool people who are in this scene. And I remember, yeah, and I remember, you know, some of them.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and I remember the first invitation I got. He's like, do you want to come dancing? And I'm like, well, what time are you going? And he's like, well, we're going at 10. And I was like, 10? That's so late. It was like 7 o'clock or something, or
Yeah.
6 or something. I don't know. I'm like, 10, that's so long from now. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. You're crazy to go out at that
Yeah.
time, right? Like I had no idea what was on the other side of that. And he's like, okay, cool. I'll just drop you off at home on the way. Like we're just
Yeah.
celebrities and whatever. I'm like, okay, fine. And
Like
then
twist my arm, I don't you?
yeah, no, I didn't go. I
Oh, you
didn't
didn't end up
go. I
going.
didn't go. And so it took a little bit more convincing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I get it now. And I had like mega FOMO because like I'm watching like these people go and get dressed up and I'm like, what the hell? So I had like this crash course in this stuff. And I was like,
Yeah.
shit, I don't have like any outfits. I
No
didn't know,
outfit.
like I had to like learn super fast like how to
Yeah.
like merge into this world, right? Because I really wanted to be part of it. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh fuck yeah.
That's
And like
amazing.
the first time I went in, was it celebrities? I think it might have been celebrities.
Yeah.
One of the no, it was somewhere else. It was a smaller venue, somebody's birthday party. But DJ loud bass music. And then
Yeah.
the next one would have been celebrities. And
Was it Red Room maybe?
no, it wasn't Red Room. Red Room was a little later.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was some small like a restaurant, like with the back room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I couldn't even tell you. I can ask my friends where it was if they remember. But anyway, and yeah, I remember going into celebrities and just being like, whoa, okay, this is cool. Like, and I've been into many nightclubs, but just hearing the bass,
Yeah.
and I think it might have
Music.
been Citizens actually. I think it was Citizens.
Oh,
It
okay.
was
Yeah.
Citizens, and that was the first time I saw them live. And then I'm like, okay, this is fucking rad.
Yeah, they are
I
awesome.
was
They're
like,
so much fun. Like,
they're
I
so
mean,
fun.
Josh and Danny,
Yeah,
they just have a phenomenal stage presence that
they do.
makes you want to bounce around with them
Yeah.
because they just look like they're having the time of their life.
Well,
You know what
they
I mean?
actually are.
Funny
Like
enough, right?
legit, genuine. Yeah. Yeah. Anyhow, and so that's kind of what got me into this. And so it's relatively recent for me. And I'm so grateful for the people who introduced it to me. And then from there, I'm like shazamming like all these
All
songs.
the songs, you're like,
I'm like,
this is
what's
so
this?
good.
What's this?
Yeah.
What's this? And I didn't know about drum and bass yet. Like I just knew it was this music. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this sound? What's this
Yeah.
sound I'm hearing right now? Why do I like that? And it was all like the blurps and bleeps and like the
Yeah.
weirdness of
The
it.
weird sounds and everything. Yeah.
Oh my God. I just fell in love. And then I started sharing my love for drum and bass with other people who were light workers or whatever, like we're people who really are heavy in our hearts, like we're very heart open.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like they got it, and so they weren't even part of the culture at all, and they're like,
No.
oh my God, this music is amazing. I'm like, I know, right? Like there's just something so
It's
hi.
uplifting and energetic, and it's honestly like taking like two shots of espresso and then just like wilding out and just like being free. And I think like there's a beautiful aspect about the drum and bass culture is that it is about being free and passionate and expressing yourself, right? And it doesn't, no one's gonna like, there's very little judgment in this because like people have seen, like some weird things go down in at
Yeah.
drum and bass raves. So it's like I think a lot of people are
Yeah.
they are more accepting about these kinds of things, and it's just so
Mm,
liberating to be a part of a big crowd where it's like you can be goofy and you can be yourself and like no
yeah.
one's gonna judge you, right? Like I grew up in like the DJing like the nightclubs and or like the top 40 hip hop clubs, and it was always just so like flexy and like you have
Yeah.
to act a certain way and it's like you got
Yeah.
to be cool and all this, but it's like
Yeah.
drum and bass, like electronic music shows, especially drum and bass, it's like it's just about having a great time. That's
It
all it is.
really is. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was at Faded and on Saturday evening, and I went from one bass heavy like main stage,
Yeah.
and I kind of like wandered away from that, and I found AC Slater, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And everybody was like kind of dancing in these like weird sort of moves. Like I have a video of it, and
Yeah.
it didn't even occur to me until I saw it in the replay, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, she's kind of dancing weird, and I'm like, but I love it. Like
I love
that's
it.
how
Yeah.
we dance. Like we do these weird kind of movements or
You
whatever
just
because
it's
it's in
just
like with the music, and I'm like
yeah.
headbanging, and like there's so much that happens in it.
It's beautiful. It's just like it's I think like we as people and society has kind of caged us in so many expectations and stuff, and it's like I think going to raves and listening to this kind of music and being a part of the culture and the community is a great release from all that. And it's like you
Yeah,
kind of get all those like jitters and like you
yeah.
can get it all out, and like I always walk away from like a rave feeling so fulfilled and
Mhm.
exhausted, but like I feel just like a brand new person because I'm just like, oh, like I forgot that that's who I was, and like it just really lets you get in touch with who you are as a person.
I agree. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. It's freedom, like freedom, freedom.
And it's like you get celebrated for the weird stuff too, right? Like if
Yeah,
you start
yeah,
dancing around like an absolute like buffoon, like people are gonna join in,
yeah,
like dubstep, my girlfriend's a huge dubstep, um, she's a dubstep fan and she like loves going to the rail, loves headbanging.
yeah,
And she was telling me that she was headbanging so hard, like people were coming up and be like, hey, like, can I join you? Like, can I be
yeah.
a part of like what you're doing? Because I
Yeah.
love the energy you're putting out into the world. And so yeah,
I
there's
love,
this beautiful community aspect and this openness of like togetherness that you don't really find anywhere else in the world.
no, I've never seen it anywhere else. And so this is what I've been looking for my whole life that I didn't know what I was looking for, right?
Well, I'm glad you found it.
I'm so glad too. And it's introduced me to some really amazing people. But like let's go tie this back to the rave culture
Yeah.
uh you know,
The stigma and stuff.
the
Yeah.
stigma, thank you. You know, because I think raves did get a bad rap because they were underground, and like that's not what we're talking about. Although there are some very cool underground places here in
Oh
this city
yeah.
that if you know, you
Absolutely.
know, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You got to be in the know, but they're not like a grungy warehouse where, like, you know what I mean? It's like proper establishments and
Yeah, they're not
people,
dangerous in
yeah.
any shape. I think there's a lot of misconception about like, people, go to these places to do drugs and like pook out and just like,
Mm,
disconnect, but it's actually very much the opposite. It's
yeah.
about being more connected with yourself. And
Hmm.
because of all the awareness that's been going around in the rave culture, there's been a huge forward momentum for harm reduction, and so I'm seeing a
Yeah.
lot more like festivals and nightclubs and stuff implement like harm reduction teams to because they understand that people are going to be partaking in risky behavior, and it's not about stopping that because you can't. That's just a part of the culture, right? But it's about creating a space where they can enjoy themselves and experience safely without without fear of something going wrong.
Yeah. I would have to say, as a woman, like I'm petite,
Yeah,
and there's sometimes when I don't go out, even though I really, really want to, because there's a fear of something happening, right? But
yeah,
you know, I know like the Harbor Center where you play, they do have a thing in there that says like your safety is our priority,
yeah.
right? And yeah, or are you frozen?
I think I might have froze.
You might
Yes.
have frozen.
Give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can fix this up.
Yeah. Um, uh-oh,
Am I back?
we lost your video.
I'll come back in a second. Give me 1 second.
We can still hear you though.
Hello, hello.
But yeah, I agree. I think that the safety, there you are.
Yeah,
It's huge, you know, for women and men, but definitely for women too, like especially if you're
definitely.
by yourself, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to be like, I don't want to have my personal space jeopardized. I'm
Yeah,
there to have fun,
you're
you
there to
know?
be free and just enjoy
Yeah.
yourself, right? Like it's
And I
about,
want to be like half naked while doing it because it's hot, and
yeah,
I
of
want to
course.
have like that be a thing?
Yeah, it's just like where else are you going to be able to wear something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's a form of expression as well. Like I love these outfits that it's people are intuitively creative, but everyone is creative in different ways, right? Some people are very creative in the sense of fashion. Some people like myself are creative when it comes to creating sound. Like some people are really good at creating visual experiences, but it's like I think it's really important that everyone has some sort of creative outlet to be able to express themselves so that they can be the person that they who they are, you know what I mean, without fear of judgment or without having to worry about, oh, like is someone going to think I'm a loser or something. It's like no,
Yeah.
it's like just be yourself and just enjoy what you have to offer to the world.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Well, speaking of, I'm gonna play a little bit about this song. So the song is called Higher.
Yeah,
So anybody listening or watching right now, I'm gonna play a song in a second, and hopefully it's not gonna be too loud out the gate and blast your ears off. um,
yeah.
but Koji, tell us a little bit about this track.
So this track was a collab between my friend Culture, Christian Martinez, who I've been friends with him for since I think he was one of the artists that we brought in during the COVID live streams and stuff. But his kind of whole sound is just like these super melodic, colorful sounds that really it almost feels like you're in a video game almost. And it's
Yeah.
like I mentioned, I love video games and I love that kind of side of things as well. So he sent me an idea that was kind of like more drum and it was more like breakbeat actually, or just kind of like a little bit different. And so he's like, "Hey man, like I have this song, like do you want to like hop on this and see what you can do with it?" And yeah, we came and then we went back and forth on it, and it turned into the song that it is today. But the reason why I loved it was primarily because the vocal is about it's about love, and it's about using that love to take you to the next level. And like I really think whether it is like whether you can put it in the context of either someone who like really genuinely loves you for who you are, and that love takes you higher, or it's the love for what you do and allowing yourself to be the best version of yourself that takes you to that next level. So multiple interpretations, but I think it just like it does represent who I am as a person. So yeah. No,
Well, and it totally like encapsulates what we've been talking about today.
absolutely. Yeah, everything. Yeah. So yeah, let's roll the clip and show the people what it's all about.
Yeah, I won't play too long.
Yeah.
But it's called Higher. It's on SoundCloud. Is it on Spotify too?
It's on Spotify. You can listen to it
Okay.
everywhere. Yes.
All right, cool. And then Koji Aiken, and then Culture, Kolture.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna just move. Oops, I gotta move Zoom over so I can find where's the play button. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna turn my thing down a little bit.
Yay! I hope you guys enjoy this. So fun.
Okay,
Oh, beautiful.
so it is beautiful. And like, okay, so I don't know anything about how you made that.
Yeah.
But what I love about that is just like the bing, 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 and the
Yeah, it kind of feels like
like,
it feels like pinball almost. Like you're, like when you like launch the ball and you
yeah,
kind of go through like the bumpers or whatever. That's what it
yeah,
reminds me of. Yeah.
yeah. But like, look how happy we are.
Yeah, we're
Like,
having a blast,
like 10
right?
seconds of that. I mean, we were happy before, but it's like just 10 seconds of that. Like it rewires the neural pathways in your mind. And
Yeah.
it's just something about the sounds and how they go together, but don't really go together. And they're so weird that just makes it go more.
Yeah, it's just
More.
it's a weird I mean I don't think a lot of well I don't think a lot of people can really relate to this, but like I love the way that certain sounds make me feel. And it's like it's inexplainable really. Like you can't really explain why it does it. You just know that it makes you feel good, like
Yeah.
fucking good,
Yeah.
So yeah, I just want to be able to create some more weird sounds so that more people can get that same like fuck yeah feeling. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Well, you're off to such an amazing start. I mean, like, serious congratulations to you for where you're at
Thank
already in
you.
your career already,
Yeah.
and like you have the serious you've got the value system, the foundation, the mindset, the support system, like bam, like this is going to be big for you. And I'm
It's only
really,
a matter of time.
it's
It's only
only
a
a
matter of
matter of
time.
time, and it's
Yeah.
inevitable. Like you're already like, yeah, it's inevitable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like I do struggle with imposter syndrome a lot. Like I said, it's like sometimes you just wake up and you're like, is this even real? Like, how did I get myself here? Right. So, like we've talked a lot about the positive sides of things, but I also want to share, that it's not all like bright rainbows, like joyride kind of feeling. Like there are a lot of challenges and there's a lot of days where I'm just like, oh, like what am I gonna do about everything I've gotten myself into, right? But it's really just about stepping up to the challenge and being willing to face whatever challenges that you have that are presented in front of you, and be willing to do the hard thing, because most people, the reason why they aren't able to achieve their dreams or chase their passions is because it gets hard and then they're like, no, I don't want to do this. They just don't have that resilience to be able to push through. But one of the things that really stuck with me, or one of the mindsets that I've always had is, and one of the things that really made me discover that I wanted to make music was, if you stick with something long enough and you put enough time and energy into it, like you'll be able to figure it out. And that goes for anything in this world, right? It's not just music. It's not just about entrepreneurship. It's like relationship. It's self-love. It's exercise. It's meditation. It applies to everything in the world. And it's like you just have to have a willingness to be able to power through, put the time and energy to figure it out. And eventually down the line you will figure it out.
Well said. Well said. And thank you for tying it back to, the reality of it too. There is a reality. There's ups and there's downs and
Yeah.
everything. But I think your positivity speaks volumes, and which is probably why this conversation went more there than
Yeah,
on the flip side. You know what I mean? Because
totally. Yeah.
you're naturally skewed to see the positive, you know, and I'm kind of Pollyanna too, in a way, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, good, good, good.
Yeah.
But
I,
it, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's just when you build a life for yourself where you're doing a lot of the things that you love doing, it's hard not to be positive, and it's hard not to feel gratitude for everything that you built for yourself. You know, even though sometimes it does feel like I'm a little lost, or I'm like, holy crap, like what's next, or like, am I gonna make it? It's like, no, you just take a step back and you're like, look at all the crazy things you've done, and look at all the crazy things you get to do. Do you love it? Yes, then life is okay, and everything will figure itself out.
Yeah, it and it does.
It always does. Yeah.
It always does. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. What, tell the audience where people can find you.
Yeah, for sure. So you can find me at Koji Aiken on most socials, Instagram, TikTok. I'm gonna start working on some YouTube stuff, so
Uh,
get at me there. And then yeah, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, yeah, wherever. If you guys like drum and bass, just look up my name, Koji Aiken, and you'll be sure to find me, because I don't think there's a lot of Koji Aikens in the world.
I don't think so.
So yeah, you can find me just at Koji Aiken on anywhere where you like to hang out. So I hope to chat with you.
Fabulous. And for bookings, if somebody wanted to book you.
Yeah. So for bookings, I'm kind of like in this like halfway zone with this agent called Prism. But you can contact my manager page at divergentmanagement.com. It's on my Instagram.
Mhm.
And yeah, we can kind of hopefully get some things rolling, get the ball rolling. I would love to share my passion and love for drum and bass with other people who love the music as well. So if we can make something happen, let's make it happen.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And I'll put your links in the show notes and stuff as well. So,
Sweet. Sounds great.
um, thank you for indulging me
Yeah, of course.
and
I
my
hope it made your day a little bit better.
yeah. And I'll see you around. I'll see you at the next rave and around, you know,
Oh,
and we'll
absolutely.
high five and hug and all that
We'll have
beautiful
a
stuff.
blast, as we
Yeah.
always do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So thank you for being here.
Of course.
Yeah, and thank you to you, the wonderful listener and watcher of The Dirt and the Divine. I hope you found this episode as fun and inspiring as I have. You can find more episodes on Spotify and Apple and YouTube. Just search up The Dirt and the Divine. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to krishayoung.com, or you can find me on Instagram at the Krisha Young. And also LinkedIn and Facebook and all the places. I also have a journal, the Dirt and the Divine journal, that's available as well. So if you search that up, then you will find that, or you can send me a DM and I'll send you a link to that. All right, awesome. Thanks, Koji.
Thanks so much for
Yeah,
having me. It was such a blast. Appreciate it.
totally.